Hello, everyone. We have a really exciting episode today. We are with Lisa Burton, and she is a CAC here. Mm-hmm. So, Lisa, why don't you tell us a little bit about your time before Nussbaum? What did you do then?
Okay, I was with a company called ZDI for 11 years, and it started out as Zeller Digital Innovations.
Okay.
And they were a spinoff of Zeller Electric, but digital was becoming very big, so they did a digital arm. They got permission, and they were able to use the name and come up with a digital company for that.
Okay.
And then it eventually led into ZDI to shorten it, and now it is Room Ready.
Okay.
So they're completely a technology company.
Okay.
And I was the office manager when we had probably 12 people there, and when I left, we had about 100.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wow. Mm-hmm. So what led you to Nussbaum?
What led me to Nussbaum is I needed a change of culture, to be honest. So the culture, the direction it was going was not feeding my inner servanthood, you know. So I got into the customer service aspect of it right before I left, so that kind of was the precursor to what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But I really felt led to be in a different environment, and I had done ministry with Brendan Nussbaum. We were in high school ministry together, so I thought that might be a very good company that I might want to work for. So.
Yeah. So decision-making is sometimes frightening, like making a leap. You were with the other company for, you said?
11 years.
11 years.
Mm-hmm.
So what were some of like the kind of cues for you that helped you make that decision?
Again, culture was the main thing.
Yeah.
I loved the owners, and I was good friends with them.
Yeah.
But it was more of a, not completely, but a dog-eat-dog environment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a servant leader by heart, and I want to be led by servant leaders as well.
Yeah.
And it was a hustle and bustle, almost survival of the fittest type of thing.
Yeah.
And that just was becoming uncomfortable for me, to be honest. For me personally, I know people who still work there. They love it. Everything's fine. But for me, I needed a different avenue for my servanthood.
Yeah. So what are some examples of being a servant leader that you've either gotten to walk out or that you see practiced here at Nussbaum?
The art of getting to know people and getting to find opportunities to disciple them. They may not even know that. But the ability to put yourself aside and put someone else first, pour into them.
Yeah.
As a manager, I would try to set a standard for what we wanted and help people reach that standard. And for me, the way to do that was more relational.
Yeah.
And to be honest, but help guide them along the way so that we were all successful as a team.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I wanted to say thank you because when I first started here at Nussbaum about, a year and a half ago, it's nerve-wracking. This is a big company. There's a lot of people here. And you were someone that right away, approached me and talked to me. And I remember the first day at lunch, I was like, one, like, what do you bring for lunch? Like, what do other people eat? Two, who am I going to sit with?
Yeah. Felt like high school all over again.
Yeah. So I just want to say thank you because you're someone that, I feel like you get to see people, see people for their hearts, or you get to be able to experience like, oh, maybe this person's a little uncomfortable or needs some friendship. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Well, some of you might know this, might not, but Lisa actually is the voice of like the extro of Terminal Exchange. So if you listen all the way through the end, you're going to be able to hear Lisa. Do you remember what it says?
No, when I listen to it, it brings back memories, but
yeah.
I was just trying to speak slowly enough or make sure you could understand me.
Yeah. So have you done similar things like that? Or?
Not of late, but
okay.
Several years ago, I did a lot of voiceovers for Eastview Christian Church.
Yeah.
And because they have a green room, and we would do videos and things like that.
Yeah.
And I used to do drama for Vail, because we had an actual real drama person, real director. And so she wrote a play. She had written lots of skits and musicals, and it was fun.
Yeah.
So
what was like an example of a drama you did?
Let's see. We would do lots of little skits, and we would incorporate them into the message for the Sunday sermon.
Oh.
And my favorite one I do remember was a 1940s sketch, and it was all about finances.
Oh.
And so we were all dressed up, me and another guy, and he was like a Humphrey Bogart character, and I was like a Lauren Bacall, and it was all puns on financials.
Oh.
Bill, he's a card. We were talking about credit cards and things like that. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I could do stuff
and
like
you
that.
did that in front of the whole church?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
And you weren't nervous at all, or?
I get nervous and almost sick until my feet hit the stage, and then the lights go on, and I say the first 5 words, and then I'm usually okay.
Yeah.
Like my heart was beating through my chest just doing this, but now I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's just, they always say if you don't have stage fright, that's a problem, You can't be too confident.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. It's sometimes, though, it's almost nice to feel that, because it's like, I'm alive.
Exactly.
I'm most definitely alive, because my heart's about to come out.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Wow, that's super exciting. Well, another thing I wanted to ask you about. So, the other day it was like super hot out. At Nussbaum we have a lake that a lot of people enjoy taking their 15-minute breaks and walking around. And I saw you with an umbrella, and it was not raining.
No.
So, why don't you explain why you were walking outside with an umbrella?
Well, I have a condition,
Okay.
and it's called anhidrosis.
Yeah.
And what that is my body has absolutely no way of cooling itself off. I do have sweat glands, but for some reason they don't work anymore.
Okay.
This all started in my late teens, I think my first year of college.
Yeah.
I grew up in Charleston, South Carolina, and I was outside every day of my life. I was a tomboy running around, on my bike, you name it.
Yeah.
And I played a lot of tennis.
Yeah.
Then we moved here to Illinois, and as the years went on, I found myself playing tennis less and less during the day and more at night.
Okay.
And that was my first flag. I'm like, gosh, it's really hot. I'll meet you at 10 or whatever,
Yeah.
Well, then I realized that whatever little light wet was here, nothing. I just became oily. So from about 18, 19 on, I absolutely stopped sweating. And I have gone to Mayo Clinic some years back, and they always said if we could find the source of it, we might be able to help you, but they could never find the source of it.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful. I actually wear this bracelet my sister bought for me, and it's a medical bracelet, and inside is engraved my name, my emergency contact, and my condition. Because if I'm ever in an accident and I'm laying out in the hot sun, that could be worse for me because I could have a heat stroke.
Yeah.
I could go into heat shock or something.
Yeah.
So I have to be really careful. And people are like, oh, that's so great. You don't have to sweat. La, la, la. No, it is not because there's a danger.
Yeah.
If you have a heat stroke, you could die. So
Yeah. Have you ever come close to that?
No, but I have had a little bit of a warning. I remember I was outside and you have to. I always have to be aware of my surroundings because it kind of creeps up on you. I could be outside having fun with my friends, and by the time I go inside, it could hit me. And I remember one day I had to lay on the bed. I had the fan on me, and I was literally crying because it was awful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to take extra care.
Yeah.
To be honest.
And how do you does that affect how do you cope with that of does it affect even your faith at all of Lord, why did you make me this way? Or
no, I think I've asked that before.
Yeah.
But I know the power of the cross, and I know it's not about me. And unless God heals me, I just have to accept it. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And summer used to be my favorite time of the year. Now it's my least favorite.
Yeah.
But the joy is I've learned to really enjoy winter, and a lot of people don't like winter.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
it's okay. I just have to constantly be careful. I just went out to see my daughter in San Diego.
Yeah.
And it was super hot. But I armed myself with a neck towel about this long and this wide, and it maintains water, so I could wrap it around like a scarf. And you'd be amazed at how cool that can keep you.
Yeah.
So, and you just carry water around.
Yeah. I might do that regardless.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
Aw. Well, yeah, that's super courageous of you. And I mean, it made me so happy, like seeing you out there with the umbrella and just, yeah, you know what your condition is, and you know how to be prepared for it, and you don't let it stop you. And I think that, it also comes with just different like perspective and just gratefulness probably for like what you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. So you mentioned your daughter. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your family?
Okay. Well, Tim and I, that is my second husband.
Okay.
I did have a first marriage,
Yeah.
and I call it my pre-Christian marriage.
Okay.
I married the wrong guy, and it was no details, but it was not a good marriage. It was an abusive marriage.
Yeah.
And out of that marriage, I brought 2 children into my new marriage with Tim.
Yeah.
And it feels like Tim and I have been married forever. He's my absolute best friend. I call him Saint Timothy. I do. I really do. I was like, oh, you put up with me. You are a saint. So. But I have 2 daughters. One is Hallie.
Okay.
And she's 28.
Yeah.
And then Selena, she's 30.
Okay.
Selena lives on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. And she
Ooh.
is an optometrist. Whoa. So, and she loves the city right now.
Yeah.
So
Optometrist. That's eye doc.
Yes.
Eye doctor. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not eye surgery. It's not an ophthalmologist. It's an optometrist.
Okay.
So you need glasses, contacts, you need your eyes checked.
Yeah.
You go to Selena.
I feel like I would be kind of creepy at that job because eyes like really fascinate me. Like I'd be like, like anytime you see someone with an eye that has like 2 different colors in it, like I think that they're really cool. I'm like, whoa, what happens there? So I don't know how great I'd be at that job. I'd probably just want to take pictures of everyone's eyes.
Well, and then you can catch diseases. There's all kinds of things I did not really know, but she could do an eye exam and you could have a terrible disease. I don't know an example, but she could actually detect some diseases just by an eye exam. So it is fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
And Hallie, she's a behavioral dog trainer and lives in San Diego. Well, she lives east of San Diego, and she owns her own dog training company called Heel House.
Ooh.
And they're very successful.
Yeah.
And she absolutely loves it. And she not only gets to help train the dogs, but then we call them the paw rinse. She helps the paw rinse.
The parents.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a second.
She helps them with their puppies and make sure that they follow the regimen of the training so that the dog and the family will be successful.
Aw.
So,
Yeah.
I was around a lot of dogs.
Okay. Do you mind dogs?
No, I love them.
Okay.
I'm allergic now to some of them, so I just have to take my allergy medicine, but I absolutely love them.
What kind of dog does she have?
She has 6 dogs.
Oh.
Usually she has about 20 to 25 that she's training that are on site, but she has 6 of her own.
Yeah.
So
Do you have a favorite?
2 of my favorites are Jack and Eddie. Jack is a rescue, and he's got some blue heeler. He's like a cattle dog, and Jack is super smart, but he just beats to his own drum, and he kind of does what Jack wants to do.
Yeah.
And that's okay with everybody. Because he's had a rough life.
Aww.
So, and then Eddie is her service dog, and
Okay.
Eddie is like her shadow. And he's just the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
He is an Australian Shepherd,
Oh,
and he's a purebred, and
Yeah.
he's wonderful. He's got those ice blue eyes.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the others, it's her little collection.
Yeah. Her crew.
Her crew. I call them like the Fab 5 or Fab 6.
The Fab Five plus Jack.
Yeah, I actually missed them so much when I came back. I really missed the pups.
Yeah.
I miss her too, but
Yeah. Aw. And then what about siblings? You have brothers, sisters?
I have one sister.
Okay.
And she lives in San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah, she has lived there since her very early 20s, I think. She moved there.
Okay.
So
yeah, and what's relationship like with her?
Relationship, when we were close when we were little, both my sister and I are artists and very creative, and we would do so many crazy things together, and we were pretty close. But then as the turbulent teen years came along, it kind of drew us apart. My sister and I have strong personalities, but we were really clashing. And I was not a very nice person, not proud of these things, but I'm so glad I can talk about it now because honestly, it is a witness to, it's a testimony to how amazing our God is. Because for years, my sister and I didn't really talk much. We would try regularly, but the conversations would be strained at times. And I just kind of put up some walls with her, and she was just too different for me. I was too different for her. We were spending all these years assuming we knew this and that about each other and not communicating well. And even when I became a believer, I kind of kept the same thing going. And so that was not a good witness to my sister. And this went on for years. I didn't even, like, some of my friends didn't even know I had a sister, and that's horrible. About 3 years ago, my sister and I, we just started calling each other more regularly. And some of it would be tense because things would come up, but then God just like put on her heart, and she was just becoming a believer at this point. And she, and I can't believe I'm going to admit this in front of everybody, but she asked me, hey, I don't know a lot about the Bible. Would you do a study with me? And I told her no. Can you believe that? Yeah. I told her no. I was so resistant to thinking that I knew who she was and how this would all end up. So she let it go for about a year. And then we really started getting close. We started realizing that some of our pain and some of the things that we brought to the table with our baggage was very similar. And had we been leaning on each other this whole time, we probably would have been a lot better off and not struggling with some of the things that we struggled with for so long in our lives. So, oh gosh, and here I'm going to forget what I was going to say. Anyway, so she asked me again after a year, hey, would you do this study? And I'm like, yes.
What was the study?
We meet every Saturday on the phone, her and my mother. The three of us do a Bible study. I facilitate it, and we've been studying the book of Exodus for a little over a year now.
Wow.
And it has been phenomenal, and it has brought us so close. And now we talk we do that every Saturday, but we talk every Wednesday, and we talk about our past and where things come from, what our triggers are, and we're reading a book together that actually goes through all of that. And it has helped us tremendously, and it's like she's my bestie now. So I know I'm sitting here getting emotional, but it is all because of God, and there is no other reason. So,
wow. What is something that you felt like you really groomed from Exodus? Like any major things that stuck out to you?
Yes, that we're just like the Israelites. We're wandering through the desert sometimes. God's right there and gives us all the answers, and we just keep wandering. But God is so faithful in his love for us. And that's really the main lesson, and how that just moves along right into the New Testament. I mean, Christ is in the beginning, the middle, and the end of the entire Bible. So
oh, that's awesome. Wow, that is so sweet to be able to now connect with your sister. And do you have the same mom? You and your sister? Okay.
My parents are divorced, but they're still friends.
Okay.
So.
And where does your mom live?
My mom lives here in Bloomington.
Okay.
Yeah, she's from France. Some people know that. Yeah, my mom is very French.
Whoa.
And we have probably made fun of my mom her entire life. But she's self-taught in English.
Okay. So do you speak French?
I don't speak French. I can hunt and peck my way through it. I can understand some things, and I can say some things. But it's just much more fun to make, fun of Mother. So.
So you mentioned that when you were younger, your sister and you're artists, and you both did some, like you said, crazy or wild stuff.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Do you mean like artistic stuff, or do you mean...
Well, Yeah, we've done some artistic stuff, but this is hilarious. Some of the drivers on the road who are about my age will probably remember some of these characters, but my sister and I used to love pro wrestling.
Okay.
We loved it. So we would make these characters come to life when we were little and like role play with them and give them lives and then draw pictures of them, make photo albums.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
So you'd pick like a pro wrestler and then you would essentially make up their life story.
Oh, yeah. Like my sister's favorite wrestler was Blackjack Mulligan.
Okay.
Mine was Greg Valentine. Like I said, some of these folks might know who these people are.
Yeah. I don't, but.
Oh, yeah. So it was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. My brother did enjoy WWE. Is that what you were talking about?
No,
Like, no.
this was WWF, I believe.
Oh.
This was a lot different in the 70s.
Okay.
It was still dramatic and all of that, but like I can't even stomach, no offense to anyone, I can't even stomach watching wrestling now,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But back then, yes. And it was so bad that if we were bad and
Yeah.
needed correction,
Yeah.
you better not make a bad choice on a Saturday because you can guarantee my father was going to ground you from wrestling. And that was almost interworld stuff.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, that would be a good way to catch up with your sister to, like, you know, break the awkwardness or unforgiveness. Just talk about wrestling.
Talk about that. Yeah.
Any other like big stuff that you guys would do together, like artistic things? Like
We would just create. We would just make puppets out of paper. We would. I don't know. We're doing some painting now. We actually want to do an Etsy site together someday. And can you imagine? We never would have thought of this.
Yeah.
All the time we've wasted, you know, I tell you. But we're thinking about doing that. And so we each have been working on art and practicing. And then we're getting our logo and just things like that.
Yeah.
You know, we thought, well, better late than never, right?
Yeah. What's her name?
Her name is Patty.
Patty. Okay. So would it be like Lisa and Patty or Patty and Lisa?
Actually, our maiden names is McCarty. So it's going to be McRT Girls.
Okay.
That's what we're working on.
Yeah. So at home, do you paint? And okay.
I do.
What's something that you've painted recently?
I went on Heel House, which is my youngest daughter's website, and they take amazing photos of their students, and so I just picked a couple, and they're not caricatures, but I'm simply cartooning them in a way, so painting them, but very few colors, and kind of like paint by numbers, but out of my own head, So I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Just to keep practicing.
So when you say students, you mean
They're
like
puppies.
the dogs?
Yes. The puppies.
Aw, that's so.
Yeah.
So are you going to give them to like the paw rinse?
I don't know. I've showed Hallie. Yeah, I've showed Hallie them, and she loves them. So, but these are practice runs. I don't know what's going to come of it, but spent my life like when I did the drama stuff. That was at 38.
Yeah.
We were so creative, but we never thought we could actually do anything, so we didn't.
Yeah.
So that's why going through all this baggage and talking together was very therapeutic for both of us and very eye-opening to find out who you are, why you thought the way you were, why triggers came up. But the realization now is that, we can still do these things. God can still use us. We can still do art. It's not too late.
Yeah.
So it's been very encouraging.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do have something to give you.
Okay.
So I'm using one right now. So it's just
awesome.
a Nussbaum journal. And so do you ever like doodle or do anything at work? Like how do you spend your breaks?
I don't have time.
No.
I spend my breaks relaxing.
So yeah, like we get 2 15-minute breaks and then a lunch. So you just sit and relax and maybe.
If I take my breaks at all, to be honest, I try, and it does behoove me to take my breaks. It's a good thing, but I don't always do it.
Yeah.
But lunch, I sometimes I'm doing things, but sometimes I just stay open because you never know who's going to come up or if there's going to be a conversation.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just don't want my brain to do anymore, to be honest. So just looking outside because it's so beautiful out there.
Yeah.
And just looking outside when the sun's shining is, that's enough for me. So,
tell us a little bit about being a CAC. What are some things that you appreciate about it? What do you do?
What do we do? Well, we are kind of the liaison between the customer and the operations.
Sure.
We just work on keeping the freight moving and keeping the customers happy.
Yeah.
And I just tell people, I sit down, I throw the balls in the air, and I leave at the end of the day when the last ball drops. So just it's a lot of email, a lot of coordination, a lot of things, small details to remember.
Yeah.
Coordination with the customer, with the driver, with planning and things like that.
Yeah.
But if you're detail oriented and you can multitask, it's a very rewarding position.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not because they're listening, but the team is fantastic. If if there were different people on the team, I don't know. But the people we have, they just make the days so much better because we can break. We've got inside jokes. We're having food day today. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
Wait, just you guys or like the whole company?
No, just us. Sorry, everyone.
What food are you having?
Let's see. Jared's leaving. He's going to be gone for like 5 months.
Because he's going on, what's it called?
He's in the Guard, so I think he's going on I'm sorry, Jared, I don't know what it is, a tour. I don't know.
He's going to guard some stuff.
Food day so that we can all be here because some of us will be out while the day he leaves, so we're doing it early.
Yeah.
So there's anything from queso dip to cookies to whatever.
Yeah.
But
we had Brent Stong leave, which he was only here for maybe just shy of few months.
Okay.
And I was just baffled. He had like a whole celebratory week of like, there was like a ping pong tournament that went on.
Gosh, okay.
They all went out to lunch. Yeah, it's crazy. The stuff that just the community here of, how far we would go just to like celebrate or just, show love to one another. It's really incredible.
Well, breaking bread together.
Yeah.
Opens things up.
So how long have you been with Nussbaum then?
It'll be 3 years in November, which I cannot even believe.
Okay.
3 years.
Yeah.
That has gone by fast.
Yeah. So if you were to give yourself advice now, looking back to 3 years when you started, any words of wisdom?
Oh, don't sweat it. Come on.
But you can't.
That's true. Just the part about, I feel like a lot of people they hire for CACs have this little perfection thread that runs through them, and it's hard.
Yeah.
But I was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And obviously I don't hide my emotions very well.
Yeah.
Only if I'm on stage and in a costume.
Yeah.
But real life is harder for me.
Yeah.
So I did not hide it well, and I did react to some emotion, and you just was like, oh, I can't believe I said that or did that. You just got to forgive yourself and just do your best. Ask questions. Don't be shy.
Yeah.
But it's not end of world stuff.
Yeah.
And here we are almost 3 years later, and I'm like, I don't even worry about if I was off over almost 10 days.
Yeah.
And I didn't even freak out. It's like, I'll get through my emails when I get through them.
Yeah.
That would have been nice to have 3 years ago, Live and learn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, this past year in itself, we've experienced so much change, so many plans made that didn't happen.
Yes.
And,
yes.
So it's taught us all a lot.
Yes.
Just to, just slow down.
Definitely. Yeah. COVID was hard at first for me, but then it became this big blessing.
Yeah.
Because it really helped me to stare my anxiety in the face, and going through that stuff with my sister. It all was in conjunction together.
Yeah.
It's perfect timing.
Yeah. And you worked from home for a period of time.
For a long time. I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, while you were home, we started on the Love Above All, this new trailer that's going to be coming out.
Okay.
And you got to you sent in a voice recording.
I
about
did.
it.
Yes.
Yeah. what was the word that you picked out for
Oh
it?
gosh, what was the word? Isn't that
Is
terrible?
it fear of rejection? Or
It may
fear-
be something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look.
Yeah.
But it might be that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, soon, if anyone's interested about what is this Love Above All, we're going to be having a new trailer come out. Okay. So a new thing to look for. And we invited in essentially the whole, all employees, whether you're a driver, office personnel, shop, just to be a part of this trailer. So this is just a little snippet to look out for it. 'Cause
Okay.
It's something super exciting.
Okay.
But yeah, Lisa, did you have anything else that you wanted to add? Any thoughts about Nussbaum or life in general?
Oh gosh, just you're never too old to learn something. I know that's so cliche, but I think us being open to the Spirit and always doing a mirror check. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like there's nothing anyone could say about me, good or bad, that I don't really already know.
Yeah.
And that's not a brag thing, but I think it's essential to do mirror checks.
Yeah.
And I think you have to go deep and you have to learn to put yourself aside and elevate others. And I wasn't always like that.
Yeah.
But I've become more and more like that. And that has been one of my greatest assets.
Yeah.
And it's encouraging people.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that I lacked, was the encouragement that I needed. So I want to give it to others so much because I want them to have that because I know what it's like to not have it. So be in tune with yourself and take Jesus at his word for sure. Even when, the chips are down and times are rough, he's still there and he's just teaching us.
Yeah.
So, and what I love about Nussbaum, which is why I was so glad that they allow me to work here, is the culture.
Yeah.
And this is the culture I was looking for. Yeah. Not that I want to be in my Christian bubble, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I want the freedom to express myself as a Christian.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was a really special time talking with you, and just so grateful for, you being at Nussbaum, being part of here. Thank you for, demonstrating what it's like to be a servant leader. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for allowing me to be here.
All right. See ya.
You've been listening to Terminal Exchange, the official podcast show of Nussbaum Transportation. Nussbaum is an industry leader in over-the-road freight transportation. For more information on Nussbaum's award-winning truckload services and top-paying driving careers, go to nussbaum.com or nussbaumjobs.com. Thanks for listening to this episode of Terminal Exchange. New episodes arrive every Tuesday, so be sure to subscribe to our show wherever you listen to podcasts and share a little love by writing us a review. Then, go deeper into each exchange or listen to previous episodes at our podcast page, terminalexchange.org.